Successful farming is all about planting your crops at the right time and also at the right season or weather season. This is because there are some crops that you just need to plant them at the right time because they're very sensitive to different weather patterns. So today I'll just be planting those crops that you need to plant them, especially during July, because right now it is July and there are some crops that are very favorable during this time when you plant them at this time. So, good morning. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you guys for the love and support. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please click that subscribe button and I will really appreciate. So, this is my first tomato harvest and I'm really hopeful, and because I've seen a lot of progress in my tomato farming. And tomatoes are one of the vegetables that are very sensitive to weather patterns. They really do well during the dry season or during the sunny season. So if you're planning to plant your tomatoes, this is not the right time for planting tomatoes. But if you have a greenhouse and you feel like your weather pattern is a little bit warm, you can plant your tomatoes. So I plant my tomatoes with just store-bought tomatoes, just dropping them on the ground. Then after they have grown a little bit, that's when I transplant now to a bigger space. And this is one of the easiest way I grow most of the crops that I have here. So before I go and plant the other vegetables that I'm going to plant today or crops, I need to, we've been experiencing some low rainfall weather pattern, but I always water my crops. So because our tomatoes have started fruiting, they have a lot of tomatoes, so it is just important just to feed them with manure. And because here I do purely organic farming, I depend fully on organic manure. So I'll be applying manure, and then it is always very important to loosen the soil when you've applied manure so that all the nutrients of your manure to drop down to your crop. And if you have a small garden, it is always advisable, or even if you have a big garden, always practice intercropping and crop rotation. All those types of planting are very important to the soil and also to the plants, because if you do intercropping, you'll be able to also control pests in your garden. And if you do crop rotation, it is another way of controlling pests. If it is your first time planting ginger, garlic, and turmeric, July is the best time to also plant your the three crops. The reason being that is that they are long-term crops. They stay longer in the farm before you harvest them or before they mature. So when you plant them early enough, they'll be able to stay in the farm, especially if you depending on rainfall, purely on rainfall. They'll be able to get enough rainfall in the first 4 months or 5 months of their growing. So I do not buy seedlings to garlic, ginger, and turmeric. I just depend on the store bought or the market bought ginger and garlic, and then I plant. That is it. And then after I wait, always maintain your crops, feed them with manure, and you'll see a lot of results. One of the vegetables that I cannot miss in my farm is any type of onion. So these are our bulb onions. They are doing really well. So today I'll be planting their seeds in the bed. And the reason why I'm planting my onions in July is that July is one of our low rainfall season here in Kenya. So when I'm planting the seeds, I always prefer planting them during when there's low rainfall so that I can water them and they'll be able to grow faster and better than when there's a lot of rain. And also, bulb onions take around 1.5 months in the bed and then 3 months outside the bed, then you can harvest. So when it is July, here in Kenya, our rainfall will start from August, September, October, and November. November is always low rainfall pattern, but right now is the best time to sow seeds, onion seeds, so that after August, end of August, you can transplant them to a bigger space. Yes, yes, madam. Uko hapo. So if you love trying out and planting different types of crops, please try and plant watermelon in July. The reason why I'm saying that is that watermelon loves a lot of water in its first 3 months of growing, and then after that, even if it gets a drier season, it does really well. And I always, because here I fully depend on local seeds. So anytime I buy a watermelon, I always save seeds. So because today we are planting some watermelon seeds, I want to extract them from a store-bought watermelon. So I'll be getting the seeds here, and majority of, I think last year I was able to successfully plant watermelon, but this year the ones that I planted in our first season did not do well, because one thing I've realized about watermelon is that they love a lot of sunlight. So when you're planting your watermelon, always consider a place that has a lot of sunlight for them to get at least 6 to 8 hours of sunlight in a day, especially the morning sunlight until 1 p.m. sunlight. And so there are two ways you can plant your seeds. There's you can decide to dry your seeds and then plant, or you can decide to just plant your seeds immediately after you've extracted them from a different type of crop. So for me, I prefer just planting them immediately because um, the disadvantage of drying is that you'll tend to reduce its germination rate. That's my thinking and that's my experience. Anytime I dry the seeds that I have gotten from any type of crop that I get in the market, they tend to not germinate 100%. So after I realized that, I decided immediately I get that crop, I extract the seeds and then plant it immediately. And I always wash that seed just a little bit to remove acidity and then plant it. I'll be using our manure in our bed to plant our onions and also to plant the watermelon. And it is always important to always mix your manure with your soil thoroughly so that you do not plant your seeds directly to the manure. But if it is compost, compost is just okay. You can decide to plant your seeds directly to the compost manure. But if you have animal manure, always mix it with soil because it is a very concentrated manure. So I'd mixed the onion seeds with soil, and the reason why we do that is to create natural spacing when you're planting. Because if you decide to just drop the seeds with your hands, you'll tend to drop many seeds at one area. So anytime I plant these tiny seeds that I cannot hold them one by one with my hands, I always prefer just mixing them with soil before I plant. And you can also realize I do not plant my seeds deep in the soil, just shallow planting so that to fasten their rate of germination. And you can also let me know in the comment section which other crops or vegetables you prefer planting them in July, because I know have so many people from different countries and also in our country Kenya. So here in Kenya we have almost the same weather pattern in each and every area. The only difference is that there are some areas that receive lower rainfall than here our area, and also there are some countries that have totally different weather pattern with ours here in Kenya. So you can also tell me in the comment section the crops that you prefer planting them in July in your country or in your area. So after I'm done planting, I will cover. It's always advisable to cover your seeds with either mulch, or I can use here the banana leaves because I have bananas. So that's what I'm going to use because I do not have dry grass or dry leaves at the moment. Walikufa mpaka nikaboeka. Tutibu sijui na 7,000 ama 6,000. Takata. Ulikata meno yako? Ulikata meno yako? Tuliita mpaka daktari. Kwa zimeshapita. Sijui ni sumu mtu alipema ni sababu mama anazururanga. Si unamjua tu. Nisipofungia tu nisahau. Nakuta tu wameenda shup. So after I realized that eggplant does really well in our soil, I decided now to add some more eggplant seeds in the nursery. so that I can plant them after, I think, a month. So you can decide to plant your eggplant right now in July, because eggplant is a long-term crop also. It stays for longer. You can harvest it for a very long period of time. So planting it right now, it's very important, because we are going to experience rainfall from now to around November. For cabbage, I'm just really going to try it out until I know how to take care of cabbages. I do not give up very easily, so let me also plant some cabbage seeds so that I can transplant them later on after a month. Most of these seeds stay in the bed for a month or a month and a half. And also, I think I'm going to also plant the broccoli seeds. I really need some broccoli in the garden, because they are the ones that I've planted. They are almost over. So some of the vegetables that you can also plant now are cowpeas. Cowpeas loves any type of weather, either it is during dry season or during the rainy season. I'm yet to plant mine. The ones that we were harvesting, we harvested them, all of them. So I do not have cowpeas in the farm right now. Maybe just one line. I think I have only one line of cowpeas, but cowpeas is a very good crop to plant at any type of season. And also the other vegetables that I have in the farm, all those vegetables you can plant them right now. They do not have specific time, but the ones that I've mentioned are the ones that they do really well when you plant them during the right season in your area or in your country. So let me plant the watermelon. So I dug holes, and they are in a height of almost a foot. And the reason why I did that is that it will be easier for me to water them. And also, when they have started coming up, I'll start backfilling them with some soil and also compost, so they will come up stronger. And you can do either that or plant them in a bed and then transplant them later. But for me, the reason why I'm planting them in a little bit deeper hole is that when they start growing, I'll start backfilling them with some soil and also compost, so that to strengthen them, and then they are going to spread. For spacing, just I think 3 feet from one hole to the next, if I'm not wrong. They love some good spacing in between, but in a hole I'm putting around 3 to 4 seeds. The reason being that these are store-bought seeds, so the rate of germination is not 100% like the ones that the seeds that you buy in an agrovet or in a shop. And the reason why I've planted the watermelon on this side is that in this area, I receive a lot of sunlight from morning to around 5 p.m. So this is the best area to plant your watermelon, because they love a lot of sunlight. They love a lot of sunlight, and they also love a lot of water in their first 3 months. So this is the best area, and also it has enough room for them to spread, because watermelon are runners. So I'm going to get the bananas that I'm going to use for mulching, because I do not have dry grass or leaves. And then before I mulch, I'm going to water all the seeds, so that to make the ground to be moist for them to grow faster. And then I'm going to mulch, and that will be it. Mulching is really important in seed germination, because seeds thrive in a very moist area. So the moment you mulch and you water, the rate of germination will be 100%. Other than just planting them and exposing them to direct sunlight, the ground will tend to break and be tougher. So the moment the seeds try to shoot, they will not grow. So they will remain in the ground and not grow. So that is it for us here in the farm. So thank you so much for watching. If you have watched this video till the end, thank you so much. You can also let me know on also the different types of seeds or crops that I can plant in July, because we are here to learn from each other. So thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please consider liking, subscribing, and also sharing this video to your friends and your family members. So thank you so much. Be blessed. I will see you in my next video. For now, it's bye bye. Let me go and prepare lunch. For lunch, we are just having rice and beans. So bye bye.